This is the virtual edition. And as you know, we've been taking time and talking to some incredible artists in gospel music. And guys, look, today I'm talking to one. I think I told you this before. I don't know, JoJo, but have I told you that you're one of my favorite voices?
I'm honored. Either way, I'm
Yeah,
honored. I really am.
absolutely. Guys, none other than JoJo Martin. How are you, sir?
I'm amazing. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm really excited to talk to you. Like I said, definitely one of my favorite voices.
Wow.
Not just in gospel music, but period. I absolutely love your voice, your delivery. You always have such passion in what you bring each and every performance, whether live, whether recording. And we can talk a little bit about how you started, some of the people that you've been able to perform with, and your journey. But you also have a brand new single that we're talking about, Never Left Me Alone. Excited about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
So
so excited about that.
yeah. So let's kind of jump right in. So if there's anybody that is not familiar with JoJo Martin, can you just kind of give everybody a little bit of the backstory, who you are, how you got started in music?
Sure. I am from Monterey. I'm a military brat. I grew up in church. My whole life, my father's a pastor. My mother was pastoring before she passed. I'm the fifth boy of five boys and one girl. And
Uh,
of course, singing in church my whole life. And then we ended up moving to Colorado. My grandparents were getting ill and pastoring, and so we
mm,
moved there to help. And that's where I met James Moore. And when I
mm,
met James Moore, he was starting the Colorado Mass Choir.
yeah.
Ended up giving it to Joe Pace, and I did some records with them and some traveling with them. Started that, I guess, in the eighth grade, my first chance to travel and tour a bit. Excuse me. And from there, I moved to Atlanta where I met PJ Morton. And for almost 14 years, I toured with PJ, and then started writing and touring with James Fortune and doing the same with Fred Hammond and Dave Hollister, and just got to share the stage with so many people. But my mother was a vocal coach, and she got us, my brothers and my sister and I, into singing and just doing everything we could, playing instruments. And so that's kind of where my start came from. They pushed us, and here we are today.
Every one of those artists that you name, from James Moore all the way up, incredible, not just singers, but ministers who really had a command of their voice, the stage delivery, everything. So that absolutely makes sense to me. And even and I think I told you, but we talked. You and I, we've chatted
Mhm.
before.
Yeah.
One of my favorite performances, not performances, but moments of ministry from you, is with Bishop Larry Trotter.
Oh wow.
I love. Listen, JoJo, that song today, like when I need that word, I will still put that song in today. I
I
still
still
believe.
believe, man. Let me tell you that song actually. When Vashawn called me, I was in church, and he said, "I need you to fly to Chicago," and
Mm,
I flew to Chicago, and they only had one verse written, but they didn't have any recorded copies of it. I had to learn that one verse before the recording, and they did the song almost last, but I got to sit next to Donald Lawrence the whole recording, and he
mm.
just kept encouraging me. You're not gonna forget. You're gonna do fine. And that song has been, man, it's been such a song that's carried me along with my journey. You know what I'm saying? I still believe, despite what life brought me, I have victory. I will outlive my pain. You know what I'm saying? It
And
just
start over again.
start over again. And I just, Bashan and Rick Robinson. That's all I can say. Them guys.
Yeah. So let me put this in the atmosphere. I think we may need a remake of that song at some point in
I would
time. I'm
love
putting
that.
it out there.
Put it out there. I would love that. I would
Yeah,
love
yeah.
that.
With you, absolutely, absolutely. So, and also a few years ago, we saw a viral moment. This was probably the last time you and I talked. During, I think, possibly Kirk Franklin's last tour,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a moment during the tour where he would have a pass the mic moment with different singers and people in the audience, and you were there and captured one of those moments, and you gave such an amazing testimony about your health journey. And before we get into the music, you've been so open about your health journey, and even now into your advocacy work. So can you talk to us a little bit about that as well, JoJo?
Sure. That night, up until that night, I hadn't really said anything. I was doing shows. People could see me on a cane and all of these other different things, but I hadn't really said anything because uh, church people sometimes they don't know what to pray for. And
Mm,
like I said to you before, I didn't want to be prayed out. I wanted to be prayed through.
yeah.
There was something that I needed. It was something that the world needed, and so I was keeping things private. And God said to me, how can I do something through you? How can I use you if you won't even tell people that you're in the
Mm,
middle of it? And so I that was my first night being able to just have a conversation with God and tell him, I'm going through all of this.
mm,
can you see me? Can you just intercede for me? Can you do anything? And by the time I got back to Atlanta, because we were in Jacksonville, I had to rush back to Atlanta. I was on dialysis. I had to
mm,
do dialysis at 5 in the morning. By the time I woke up from my nap, my nurse was saying, "Is this you? Is this you?" I said, "Yeah, yeah, that was last night," and it was at 1 million views.
mm,
And so I decided from that day to now to dedicate my life to speaking to our community, educating our community about dialysis and kidney failure and being organ donors. Because even though my friend Brittany Ruff gave me one of her kidneys, I would have been on that list much longer because our community has been taught so many things improperly. We
mm-hmm,
believe so many things. If we're organ donors, they're going to let us die first, and all of these other things that are not true. But because we've been the puppets of so many medical mishaps for years, it's caused us to not give life out of our own lives, and so I've dedicated my life to speaking and educating our community on taking better care of ourselves, being organ donors, and knowing what it is to see a doctor regularly on a regular basis, so you're in front of stuff and never surprised by what's going on with your body.
I think we definitely saw a lot of those health disparities that you just kind of alluded to play out over the last year or so. In the way our community has responded, not only the way our community has responded, but the way leadership responded. Number one, to the pandemic, and then to the vaccine and everything else. And so I think we there's a lot of damage to undo and
It
unpack.
is. It
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
It really is. And I sat on some panels over the last year with the National Kidney Foundation and things, and some really top doctors and surgeons, and they're asking me, what does the community, what can we do
Mm,
to get closer to the community so that we could offer great medical service? I said, for one, you got to do a better job of educating. You can't tell me I'm sick and I got to go on dialysis and that's it. I need
mm-hmm,
to know why. I need to know what's happening. I need to know the benefits. I need to know what's not going to work so that I can make an educated decision for me and my quality of life. But we haven't done that, which is why so many people refuse treatment. They refuse care because they're not educated enough and they're fearful, as you should be. You want to know that when I go into the doctor's office, they're telling me the same thing that they would have told somebody rich or white or any other race. You know what I'm saying? So that I feel safe and secure in your hands, knowing that God has all the power. However, you are the doctor,
mm-hmm.
and I expect you to educate me and teach me well so that I can make the right decisions.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, as we transition back into talking about music and your latest single, just kind of tell us about this song, how it came to be, who you worked with. You mentioned PJ Morton, but kind of give us how this song came to life.
Sure. This song is actually the only song that we did together after my kidney transplant. The entire
Mm,
album was written before I ever had to go on dialysis. So these were songs, and when the record comes out, it'll really amaze you because these were songs that carried me through this journey alone because nobody's ever heard them. But we
mm,
didn't we didn't know we were writing them for this. We didn't know we needed them for that because I didn't know I was going to have to go on dialysis. So Never Left Me Alone. I went to New Orleans and PJ said we just need one more song to complete the album, and we were just brainstorming, coming up with ideas. I told him, I said, I know I don't want to do a song that's sad and drawn out, talking about this and that. I want to encourage people. I want to say something that is easy for them to capture, but also something that blows their mind, something that gives them a memory. And Sure enough, I went back to the hotel the next day. I came in there. PJ had written this song, Never Left Me Alone. And it just fit the whole, I mean, it just was perfect. It's not just my testimony because I went through all of this and God never did leave me alone. However, it's also been a reminder. All the messages I've been getting, people crying and leaving voice notes and leaving different types of messages about how the pandemic caused them to forget. Everybody was telling you, you need to be alone, you need to go by
Mm.
yourself, you need to quarantine, you need to do this. And people began to feel alone. Depression took over so many people. I told them, you either came out of this one or two ways. Either you came out strengthened and renewed, or you came out depressed and completely torn apart. So this song is there to remind you that it doesn't matter what season you've been in, what it looked like around you, what was happening around you. God has never left you alone.
Absolutely. Now, is the song available now for everybody to stream and to purchase and all that stuff?
It's available right now everywhere you can pick up digital music. You can grab that thing. We got a lyric video on YouTube that will bless you, and I'm just excited.
So, are you getting back on the road? You back on the road now?
I'm ready. I'm getting back on the road.
Yeah, yeah. So,
I'm
for
getting back on
booking,
the road.
tell everybody how they can hit you up for booking.
You can go to my website, jojomartinmusic.com, and everything you need, all the information you need is right there. We would love to come and minister with you. We would love to connect with you. I would love to talk to those that are dealing with end stage renal disease and just be able to pray with you and bless you and just ask God to do double for you what he did for me. So it doesn't matter what it is. Let's connect.
Absolutely. JoJo, thank you so much. Listen, we could talk all day long. Like I said, you're such a blessing. I said it before, y'all. Check out JoJo's music. Support, support, support. Even, you can go and just kind of research some of his older stuff. He has an amazing, just amazing repertoire of music that he's done throughout his lifetime. That's definitely been a blessing to me. And I know there's so much more to come from you, JoJo. And I
Wow.
can't wait. Excited for it. Listen, is there anything that you want to share with our viewers, our listeners, before we get ready to go? Anything you want to say to encourage them?
I just want to say to hang in there. Don't lose hope. Let your faith build and renew every day. There's so much going on, so many reasons to be doubtful, to be hurt, to be let down. But at the end of the day, when you look at what God has brought you through, it's not just a miracle you need, it's a memory. Just remember what he's brought you through, what he's done before, he's still doing and will do again. So be a light in all of this darkness. Let your light so shine, and never forget where God has brought you from, and always remember where he's taking you to. I love you so much.
All right. Listen, thank you, JoJo. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I love you. It's good to see you. I hope to see you soon.
Same to you. Much love to you
All
and your
right.
family. Be blessed.
You too. Thanks.
All right. Bye bye.